Good evening, sir. I apologize for not having an audience, but I got home from my military training late and I wanted to get this in from you, so I understand you have to dock points, but the following is my persuasive speech. Imagine a world where you have no electricity, where you have no clean water, and you have no running utilities. That's a world you might live in if an EMP attack happened on the United States of America. You probably haven't heard of an EMP attack before because it doesn't get much media coverage, but an EMP attack is one of the largest threats that face the United States. And today I'd like to share with you what an EMP attack is, the consequences that might come about because of an EMP attack, and then finally to persuade you to call your congressman and senator and encourage them to protect the United States from an EMP attack. So let's start off by looking at what an EMP attack is. According to Miss Burke, who's an expert in different types of warfare, an EMP attack is when a nuclear weapon would be detonated in the atmosphere above the United States. What makes this different from a normal nuclear attack is that this attack would be blown up at a high level in the atmosphere, which would cause it to cloud the environment in the atmosphere. This would cause essentially darkness across the planet and across the country, on top of causing a blackout of all different types of electronics and technology. Because much of the technology we use currently runs on satellites, the EMP attack would block the communication between the satellite and the technology, which would cause it to stop. For instance, we've seen several countries attempt EMP attacks and practicing them in the past. For example, North Korea has tried to detonate multiple different EMP attacks over different parts of the ocean off their country to see if they could work. Also, countries like Iran potentially have the technology to occur an EMP attack. So now that we see what an EMP attack is, I'd like to show you what the consequences would be if an EMP attack occurred in the United States. There would be three main consequences. First of all, you would have no clean water. Almost 100% of the United States water infrastructure, according to the Consumer Research Journal, runs on technology that uses satellites. If an EMP attack would occur, that technology would cease to exist and all the water plants would shut down. This means no clean water would get to your house. And as you know, as human beings, we have to have water. Second, you'd have no electricity, so you would have no access to the internet, you'd have no access to the news, you'd have no access to the radio, so you wouldn't have access to what's going on currently in our country. And finally, military technology would be down. Interestingly enough, almost 100% of our military technology is run off the civilian power grid. This means that it is connected to civilian sources and not protected by the military. So if an EMP attack did occur, almost all of our defense technology would go down because it's connected to the civilian power source. So as you can see, this is a huge concern if this attack would happen. So I'd like to conclude by encouraging you and persuading you to take action. First of all, you need to call your senator, you need to call your representative, and encourage them to take action to secure the United States power grid. Although we can't 100% prepare for an EMP attack, we can take steps to protect the power grid by updating the technology, creating backup generators, and also going from completely using satellites to using satellites and other technology. If we did this, the electrical grid would be safe. So you can call your senator and representative and encourage them to secure the United States. Number two, once again, according to the Consumer Research Journal, you should have a plan for your family. In the event an EMP attack did occur, you should have an idea of where you would go, how you would get clean drinking water, and what you would do to find out what's going on in our world. Although this is a very somber subject, it is absolutely paramount that you take this seriously and prepare for it. So in conclusion, I'd like to review. We looked at, first of all, what an EMP attack is, the detonation of a nuclear weapon in the atmosphere. Second of all, what the consequences would be. And finally, I hopefully persuaded you to take action. Every day you use technology, you use electricity, and you also use communication. And in the event of an EMP attack, all three of those sources would be gone. And so you're at a crossroad. You have to ask yourself, you want to continue to live in a world where we are at risk of losing vital technology, or do you want to take the time to prepare, as little as it could be, and be ready in the event that something like an EMP attack would happen. I exhort you to take action, to call your representative, to take action and make a plan in case of an EMP attack. Thank you.